So I'm going to read for y'all, but look at this. Yeah, just look at my desk. It's a major mess. Y'all see, I got stuff everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm going to take some time. You got my desk while I'm talking to y'all. You got to fix it. Also, going to be hearing some noises in the background because I have to compete with my daughter for my own attention. So she's a little noisy. All right, so while I had this thought in my head, I was like, instead of me sitting here talking to myself, let me go ahead and record this, right? Because someone had mentioned in the comments um, about, they had asked, like, how can another person watch them? Is it by remote viewing? See, that's what I love about you guys because you answer your own questions. You already know the answer. You're just coming to me for confirmation. Your answer is yes. So let's talk about this a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm gonna start studying this, right? Remote viewing. First, let me tell you a little story. What happened to me a while ago? So I'm gonna take your mind back a little further. This was like before Instagram came out, before TikTok came out, Snapchat, and all those other little ones. It was just Facebook, whatever was created before Facebook to include YouTube, right? That's the only thing that was out during that time. And this was during a time when I was doing a lot of soul searching. I was trying to find myself. So I was testing different religions, different, traditions to see if I could find the answers that I was looking for there. And I had stopped. There was one tradition that had my attention because I'm not gonna mention its name, but it was very like had a lot of it was mentally, it was intellectually attractive, put it like that. But it didn't have the answers that I needed. But it was very intellectually attractive because they did a lot of debating, right? But anyway, I had met this brother that was a part of this tradition, and we used to always reason. We used to always reason, and we would reason about the Bible and different other things or what have you. And we had become like friends, to where we would call each other and we would reason about things because that was what we had in common. And one day, I remember I was sitting on the phone talking with him, and he was like, I could tell you, I could tell you what you got on right now, right? And we weren't doing no video camming back then. So we was talking on the phone. That's what we did. We talked on the phone. So that was during a time when I think we had flip phones. That's how long ago it was. All right. So he was like, I could tell you everything you got on. And I can pick up on things in your environment. Now he was spiritually in tune. So he was aware of his gift. Okay. He was aware of it. So I was like, I challenged him. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. Tell me. Let me keep doing what I'm doing. All right. This man started talking. He started to tell me what I had on. He was telling me what was in my room, what he saw in my room, where the window was in my room. He was telling me things about my my surroundings that he should not have been aware of. So I hung up and I never talked to him again. I don't even remember what his name was. Because that really got me to thinking at that point. I'm like, but they just let me know how tuned in this man was to me. He was a little more tuned in than what he should have been, because he was able to connect to my environment and tell me what was going on. So it was like, how much more did he know? You have to be really careful with who you make a connection with. And see, the thing is that if you're not aware of your gifts, that doesn't mean that you're not using them. It doesn't mean that you're applying them. In fact, that's exactly what you are doing. You're using them and applying them, but because you are unaware of them, you're more than likely using them to do evil, to do wickedness. You see, that's what's happening. So we have to become aware of them, because when we become aware of them and their limitations, right? Then we don't do that. We don't use them to do evil. We're conscious of the boundaries, okay? And we're very careful not to cross them. And some of the gifts that we have are gifts that, like I said, we use them naturally to the point where we take them for granted. We don't even see them as gifts. Okay, we don't even see them as gifts until something happens where we're forced to acknowledge them. And that's what's happening now. Okay, we're forced to acknowledge them and to accept them. Now, some people, their gift is cooking. Some people, their gift is being able to connect with young children, right? And being able to get them to open up, get them to relax, and so that way they can teach them. We already know those gifts have been abused. Okay? And children have been hurt behind that. Okay? Um, there are people or entities that command, that have the ability to command spirits. All right? So you have entities that use other beings or whatever as a means to connect with you and exercise control over you. The number three. All right. The number three is very significant. Okay. It's like a triangulation type of situation that you're involved in and you know nothing about. And the person that you are attached to or connected to is being used as a means to control you. All right. So we all have these abilities. It's just that not we have not all tapped into them. And because of that, a lot of evil is being created in the world. Other people are being hurt. People are being violated. People are being spied on. Okay? That's what's they're being violated. That's what's going on. And systems, technology is also being used to enhance those violations. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Like if you get someone in your life who is extremely manipulative and they have this gift, they're going to use it as a means to control your every move. If they are too close to you, if you give them permission to do that, they will use it to control your every move. Yes. So it's good to find out what your gifts, like what we all have gifts, but some gifts are more dominant in other people than they are other people. It just depends on what you came here to manifest. You know, if you came here to be a teacher, a high priest, then you are more than likely the gift of mind is probably more in heightened for you, which means that you also have intuitive abilities as well. But the gift of mind is very is more it's more open to you than it would be to others, to someone else who came here to um to do something else. All right. To do something else. All right. So you could be really good at teaching people, and the message that you send out could be easily received. You know, those are teachers right there, and they can teach anyone. They can teach children, and they can teach any type of subject. They can tune in and get people's attention and get them to listen. All right. And that's because the gift of teaching is highly developed in them, the gift of intellect. You may have people who came here to love or to learn about love. So the gift of charm is heightened in them. Okay? They could be leaders. The gift of charm is heightened in them. Okay? Those are your cult leaders and things like that. And what happens? They end up abusing this gift because they have no sense of boundaries, limitations of their gift. They have no sense of that. And then when you try to teach them or enlighten them, they don't want to know. But see, in ancient times, they had systems. They had a system that they followed. They had systems that they followed. And at a certain age, you would be taken through a certain type of training to help and prepare you for these gifts, to use these gifts, you know, at a certain stage of your development. But that has been taken away from it. That has been taken away from us. And it's not saying that, you know, and I feel like the same reason it was taken away from us is the same reason that we're not aware of them today. And that's because we used them, we abused them. We got to a point where we started to abuse these gifts. Okay? That's what happened. You started to abuse these gifts. And that led to a lot of cataclysms that took place in the earth, believe it or not, because everything is connected. Everything is connected. When we are out of disorder, guess what? We affect our environment. We affect the atmosphere. We affect the earth. We affect everything because we're all connected. We are all connected. And the sooner that we become aware of that, the better it's going to be for us. The better it's going to be. And it's going to happen. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. So hold on. I'm going to come back into a reading for y'all. Okay, here I go. I was looking for something to burn. I was looking for something to burn. And I can't remember where I put my little cones at. These are the easiest things to get to. And you want to burn something real quick. So, but I pulled the card. I have started you guys' reading. But, and I kind of got my desk a little situated. I did it quick, see? I'm sure. My desk was situated just that quick. I can't work in a junky atmosphere. Can't work in clutter. In clutter. Okay. So I did start you guys' reading. I don't want y'all to think y'all been wasting time. Because I don't like to do that. I ain't trying to harvest nobody's time unless they want me to. I won't pass up an opportunity. But that's not something I do intentionally. See, that's a gift also. And when you become aware of it, just like I drew some limitations and boundaries, that's what you do. But some people, because they're not aware of this gift and it's something that they do naturally, they just, they will end up abusing it and hurting other people. Okay, I'm gonna close the door just a little bit. Mimi, Come across the door, please. Come across the door. Push it, close it a little bit. Okay, right there is good. Thank you. Right there's, she closed the whole door. So I did pull a card for you guys. Someone that you're thinking about or you're holding in your conscious. Okay. This person could be focused on their next meal. They could see you as their next meal, or they could be preying on someone else. They could be preying on others. And in doing so, what they're doing is they're looking for weaknesses. They're trying to create unhealthy attachments. All right? They're trying to create unhealthy attachments with someone or others who are unsuspecting. They are least likely to expect this person. This person is hidden. They are cloaked. Because if they could see this person for who they really were, this person would never be able to get close to them or what seems like a person. Now, I picked up on my meditation last night. I was picking up on soulless beings, like a soulless being. Like this is someone who looks like a person, but they are soulless. They don't have a soul inside. Okay. So in order for them to get what they want, they have to become whatever it is that it takes in order for them to get that. Okay, they have to become whatever it is that it takes or whoever it is that they need to become in order to get that. So these energies are also shapeshifters. Okay, they are shape shifting energies, shape shifting beings that are soulless, very dark and malicious being. They lack human compassion. They are without empathy. Whatever it is that they're doing for their own benefit, their own satisfaction, or to serve whatever it is or whoever it is that is controlling them. That third party connection here. There's a third party here. Okay. And in my other reading, I picked up on a feminine energy, but it's dark, it's a hidden energy, it's malicious, it's malevolent, and it is very controlling. It knows all of your person's secrets. Your person submitted to this controlling energy because it provided them with some type of false benefit that made them feel empowered. And they have access to secret knowledge. So that could be it. Your person could be someone who wants the power to be able to control others. Okay, and whatever it is that your person get from others, they share with this entity here that is being controlled by them, or that they're being controlled by. And you become, that's how you become their meal or their next meal. So some of you who are watching could have met someone new. Be careful. You could be their next meal. Now let's see how this deck behaves, and we're going to pull a couple cards from this deck and let's see how it behaves. So you want to make sure that you have a healthy view of what pleasure is and especially love. Okay? Because someone could be caught up in an illusion about love. They believe that it is something that it is not. And if you met someone new, they can see that. They can see that. This is called, this is called like they're going to see that as an insecurity. That's how they see it. And they're going to use it in order to create an attachment to you. And they're going to play into that until they get what they want. And that is a feeling of being in control. And then once they get that, your whole situation is going to change because this person is going to start to reveal who they truly are. So a lot of times we say, oh, my person changed. He used to be so kind. He used to be so sweet. And he changed. He just started acting mean and nasty. I want to know if he's going to change. Yeah, he's going to always change. But when he's nice and sweet and loving and all of that in the beginning, that's not who he really is. He starts to show you at some point in the connection who he really is. That's his true face. But we don't want to accept that. We don't want to believe that. And we're hoping that this person goes back to change to their charming, sweet, loving self. But that's not who they are. This is what they used. Charm is magic, it is seduction, it is hypnotic. Okay, this is what they used in order to put you into a deep sleep so that way they can get what they want. And they were focused on the next meal. Some of you have met someone new. Some of you are open to meeting new people. Be careful. See, what we don't understand is that the world has changed. A lot of us find it impossible to happen because these are things that we read about, and we were told to accept them as truth. But we didn't really believe that that could be possibly true because we haven't seen any of these things. We haven't experienced these things. That's because these things have been hidden in the shadows for a very long time, waiting for the right opportunity to come out and make itself known to a people who never knew it or knew them. That's what's going on. Okay. So it's going to come out like a shock, total surprise. Like, what the hell is this? And a lot of people's mind, even now, is being blown. And this is just going to intensify. We're just at the tip. There's some energy moving into us. And if we are where we are supposed to be when it gets here, we're good. Okay? That's why I'm here. All right. I'm trying to help us all get on track. And I'm trying to make sure that we stay on track. All right. And if we're not where we're supposed to be, we're going to feel this energy in ways that we never could have even ever imagined. Never. Okay. I'm picking up on the energy of someone, like when things don't go right in their life, it's almost like they start to blame, they start to project. That's what I'm getting here. Like there's someone here who cries wolf. Like I'm getting the feeling that this is someone who likes attention, who requires a lot of attention. And what they do in order to get it is that they become very distracting or they start to create distractions. That's what I'm getting here in order to engage your attention. And wherever your attention flows, so does your energy. Like, so I'm getting detachment here. Okay. If you have anyone in your energy that is doing that, there's a need to detach. And I feel like some of you who are watching have already done this or you're on the path to do this. You're detaching and you're starting to focus and see things more clearly or with clarity, or you're being asked to do so. The experiences that you're having in your life are asking you to do this. See, we have to learn how to communicate with our ancestors. We have gotten so used to ignoring um, critical messages when they come in, or messages that create conflict, that we see it just as a problem. But the problem has a source, okay? It has a source. So what we have to figure out in order to ensure that these problems don't happen anymore is that we have to return to the source in every situation, in all of our situations. Like, why is the reason that this is happening? How did this happen? And so then we have to start to reflect and find out where we went wrong at. It's just like if you were to put your keys down somewhere and you walk away and you get caught up in other things, then you get caught up in other things, and then you remember your keys and you're like, oh, let me go get my keys, and you can't remember where you put your keys at because you got distracted. It's the same thing. So in order for you to find out where your keys at, you have to start to backtrack in your mind to go back to when you first walked in, you had your keys in your hand. Where was the first place you went? It's the same thing. When we have issues and we have problems, we can't just see them as a problem and then be like, okay, well, it'll fix itself, or problems just happen. No, this is your ancestors interfering. They're interfering, and they're trying to get your attention. They're trying to get your attention here. But some of them are very communicative. They communicate a little too much. All right. But it won't get to the point where it's disturbing. And if you talk to them and tell them to calm down, they will. They will. You will notice they will respond to you because you have acknowledged them, and they want acknowledgement. That's exactly what they want. They want acknowledgement. But you have a person, or you have had a person in your life who imitated this behavior. Okay? They're preparing you for something, or trying to prepare you for something. That's what's going on indirectly. Okay? See that? This says making paper in their sleep. This is the image of the collective right now. This tells me that you're in a place where you're not concerned, you're not worried, and you are going to continue to grow because you are right where you need to be, right where you're supposed to be. You're handling your business, you're minding your business, and therefore you're in a very peaceful place, okay, where you can grow, you can feel safe wherever you are, okay? Because you could be on this journey with me and with everyone else, and you're focusing on you. You're making yourself a priority. Okay. Things that used to be important to you are no longer important to you. And I feel like that's a great thing in this situation here. So the only thing I can say from here is just to continue to do the work. Make sure you stay on the path that you're on. And your ancestors are there, and they're going to make sure you stay on this path. Because whenever you steer too far to the left or too far to the right, they're going to be there to make corrections in your life. Start paying attention. You'll notice. Okay? Because if you step out of alignment here, there's a possibility that you may make a connection with a person or a spirit that will cling to you and create havoc in your life. I'm telling y'all, we're not in the same space we are anymore. And you can verify this with your own experiences. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. I know. I know. But something wants your attention, and it wants you to know that it is real. Okay? That it is real. That's what it wants you to know. It's trying to show you that it is real. Whatever it is you call God, your ancestors, your spirit guides, nature spirits, earthborn spirits. Something is coming out of the shadows, and you guys can feel it. Yeah. Talking about people who are playing God, and they want to play God in your life. They want to tell you how to live your life, what you should be doing. These are people who want control, and they're not even looking at their own lives. Okay? You could have experienced that. You could be experiencing that right now. This energy, you could feel like this energy is holding on to you right now. You could feel like this energy is attempting to distract you. They're trying to keep you from something. They're trying to keep you from reconnecting with your ancestors, those who were honored, those who walked the same path as you, and they lived a very righteous life. Righteous doesn't mean religious. That means that they followed the laws, universal laws. They were in alignment with their ancestors. That's what that means. And the way that you lived your life was honorable to your ancestors, and therefore you honored God. You honored God. However it is that you're living your life right now is honoring your ancestors, and your ancestors are paying it forward. They're paying it forward. So this just tells me that you're going to start to realize new opportunities. Okay. You're going to start capitalizing on these opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of growth coming in. I'm seeing you connecting with the right people at the right time, and you're making things happen. Okay. A lot of growth. And it's going to be strange because you're going to be growing, but the people around you, you're going to see a lot of struggling. Okay. A lot of struggling. You also, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. All right. This is going to cause you to stand out and get a lot of attention. So you're going to be in this attracting energy. Okay. You're going to be calling things towards you. Okay. Things that can prove to be beneficial if you're in the right mindset, which means that you're going to be attracting haters as well. People who want to knock you off your throne. Yes, because your ancestors and spirit guides are causing you to stand out. You're like the light, you're like a reflection of them. Okay? You're like, they're going to use you as an example to the world. You understand what I'm saying? Or the people who are around you. And some people are going to love you, but then some people are going to hate you. And before you get caught up in your feelings, you got to ask yourself, how can I benefit from this? See, because in order for someone to hate you, they got to like you. In order for them to hate you, they got to like you. They hate you because they like you. That's all it is to it. They hate you because they like you. That's envy. Envy and jealousy. So how can you benefit from that? Are you going to sit there in your feelings like, this person hates me? Me, I'm like, yes, got another hater. They help you pay bills. They help you pay bills. Yes, they do. I'm telling you, you have to embrace a mindset that works for you because magic is all about intent and purpose. Okay? Combined with your emotions. And like I said, you can make anything move. Okay? You can knock anything down. You can take down beasts. You can take down demons. You can command them and tell them, go out and do this for me. And they'll go out and do it and bring back their head to you. Oh man, whatever blockages that you got in the way, you have to work towards removing them. Okay? Disinterest. Someone's doing something different. They have lost interest for this person that has come into your life, has infiltrated you. Okay? And this person here, too, I want to tell y'all something. This person is a part of a coven. I said it last time, but I said they're a part of a group, right? And then I went back and I checked and I did the numbers, okay? Because covens are always associated with odd numbers. It could be 3, 5, 7, 9, but if you have an even number, you don't have a coven, all right? And this person that you are connected to is a part of a coven. So we're associated with the number 3, 3, 6, and 9. Okay, it could even be bigger numbers. Yeah, it could be even bigger numbers. 99. It could be 99. What's 99? No, that's an even number, right? 99. Oh, yeah. Damn bugging. Yeah, it could be 99. Okay. So 99 is associated with 3. 99. 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9, that's a coven. It also represents the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. Okay. And I was told that this year, yeah, 2025, right? This is we're in the year of 9. So something is ending and it begins in this year. Something is ending and we're going into a new cycle. And there's a lot of people who are so detached and so have been moved so far away from the truth and reality that they don't even realize that this change has taken place. Okay, but let me tell you something. People who study astrology and people who are spiritually in tune and who are becoming conscious and aware that there's something else going on besides what we see, they can feel it. They know. And they are working to try to align themselves with this energy. People who read cards, people who divine, people who practice uh, craft magic, all forms of magic, divination magic. Okay. Yeah. They are aware that your person is definitely in, yeah, temperance. Dense. Okay. So they're still building on this story here because it applies to what I'm talking about right now. Like, because it's talking about a need to pull away, a need to pull back, giving too much energy, like trying to force something to happen that's not going to happen. All right. You could have been in a situation. You could have been in a situation where you was forcing a situation, found yourself trying to force it, trying to make something happen that wasn't going to happen. You put too much energy into this situation. You must have felt exhausted. Okay. You must have felt exhausted. And at some point, you realize you had to focus on you. Yeah, this person was definitely feeding off of you. And if they're not feeding off of you anymore, they haven't given up trying, but they are feeding off of others. Okay. And there are several ways that you can feed. Like I said on one of my other videos, you could feed just by being in someone's energy, like exchanging energy with them, giving them time, giving them attention, okay, agreeing with them. Like they can trick you into agreeing with them and you not even knowing it, you know? And that's how they can re enter or enter your life. Yeah, just making an agreement. And they can send people in your life who has their likeness. If they know that they can't get close enough to you because you don't trust them, they can send someone in your life or command another spirit to come towards you just to see if they can gain access into your life. Okay, and this spirit will have your person's likeness. So be careful with who you form an agreement with, who you sign contracts with. Okay, because it will null and void the contract and the agreement that you have currently with your honored ancestors. It will null and void that, which means that you will have to depend on this new connection that you established. And there's nothing here that you can rely on. This energy is just going to suck everything out of you. So you can expect some losses. Now, some of you have already had this experience. Some of you are moving towards this because you are feeling very passionate and the ideals that you have about love and romance are unrealistic. And the entities that you are going to connect with, they are going to prove this to you. You're going to learn a very valuable lesson. But I can say this, if you survive the situation, right, you will become aware of new gifts that you have, new abilities, a heightened sense of awareness. Your psychic abilities will become more refined. You'll become more sensitive, okay? And you will gain strength. You will become much wiser than you were before. So these connections also comes with gifts, okay? They also come with gifts, but if you are already aware of these gifts, you can see this person and you can see what's going on with you, and you are in control, and you're not allowing yourself to be led down this path again. Because some of you are on a path with someone who opposes you. You're moving in two different directions, but you're on the same path, but you're moving in opposite directions. Okay? And this person is trying to get you to surrender yours and come with them, follow them. That's what's going on. And I see a lot of weighing and measuring. Yeah, someone is focused on health and, I'm sorry, someone is focused on health, all right? But someone is focused on wealth in a very negative way. Like they feel like they have to connect with and use others in order to get what they want, okay? That's what they feel like they have to do. Whereas there's another person who's more open to relying on themselves, okay, in order to materialize goals. Like this energy that is relying more reluctant, more willing to rely on themselves. This energy here is very patient. That's what I'm getting. This energy is very patient. Like they're okay with waiting for whatever it is that they desire to come to them. Like they are aware of their ability to attract. Like they could have an innate feeling in them that tells them to wait. And they're okay with that. And they have strong faith. And they believe that their faith can get them exactly what they want. Whereas the other person is more like a predator, a hunter. And they could see you as prey. You see what I'm saying? This is someone who's low vibrational. Like they don't believe in what you believe in. They don't have faith. They are faithless. They believe that they have to chase what they want. And that's why they have a difficult time getting what they want, because whatever it is that they're chasing, it evades them. Okay. So then they want to come and latch on to you because whatever it is that you're doing is working. Okay. But they are not they're not fully in agreement with you because they try to create disruption and chaos. They're very rebellious in your life, right? Because that's how they materialize. That's how they manifest, by the amount of chaos that they can create in your life, by delaying you, holding you back, interfering with your plans, getting you to focus your energy on them. That's how they make things happen for them. And their desires, the desires that they have, are separate from the desires that you have for yourself. Like this is someone who wants you to put your desires on the back burner and will get mad if you don't do it. But this is someone who who expects for you to put your desires on the back burner and to focus all your energy, your attention, your time on them, so that way they can manifest whatever it is that they need to manifest. And whatever it is that they want to manifest is very selfish. And if you knew what it was, it will be painful to you. And for others, I feel like you've already went through this. You've seen this. You've experienced this. So you know what I'm talking about. And right now, you are an example to those, or for those who are going through this right now. So you can actually take your experience and use it, and you can find a way to capitalize on it, monetize it, and use it to help somebody else. Those type of businesses right there that are geared towards healing, those are the type of businesses that your ancestors will support. That's the type of growth that your ancestors will and can support. Yeah, see that? These are ancestors that are waking up. They are coming back. They are returning. And if you are in the place where you're supposed to be, then you are fighting side by side with them. Okay? They are sharing their powers with you. They are sharing their weapons with you. They are sharing their abilities with you. Okay? You're helping them to take down your enemies. Okay? This is about releasing and letting go things that are not serving your highest good or the purpose. That's what this is about, letting go. All right? And then there are some people here who are fighting against their ancestors and they're trying to make things happen in a way that is not in alignment. Okay, this is about cutting away the old so that way the new can come in. This is like a new system that's being rebuilt within us on an individual level and also on a huge level. And this is also about reclaiming our sovereign power. This is saying it, not me. I'm telling you what the cards say. This is about reclaiming our sovereign power. But in order to do that, there are some sacrifices that need to be made. There are some changes that need to be made. And these changes are going to require a lot of strength. We're going to have to be strong. Okay? And I say we because it's going to affect everybody. Whatever you're going through right now is affecting everybody on some level. On some level. Okay? Just be strong and be aware of who you're connecting with. Okay? If you have family members and friends who are asleep, who are not working on themselves, guess what? They can be used in order to get close to you. That's why it's very important that you work on the ideals that you have. Are they realistic? Are they working for you? If not, you got to cut them loose. You're going to have to cut them loose, baby. You're going to have to let them go and you're going to have to cut them loose. Because some of y'all holding on to some fairy tales, and what you're doing, this is also talking about black magic and necromancy. You see how much black in this car, and then all of this purple back here, this is psychic energy. And what we're doing with this psychic energy, we're waking up and we're calling forward, okay, our ancestors unknown to us because they have been in hiding. We are waking up the dead. We are waking up the dead with the choices that we're making and the abuse that we're tolerating. We're waking them up. We're calling them forward, but we want to make sure that we are in the place where we need to be when we call them forward because when they come, they judging everybody. And if you ain't where you need to be, you're going to feel it. Okay? Otherwise, you are divinely protected. Yeah, see that? And somebody's wearing a mask. You're not going to be tell you're not going to be able to tell who these people are or who these energies are just by looking onto them because they're wearing a mask. These beings are cloaked. Didn't I tell you in the last video they either got on a black suit or they're wearing black cloaks. These beings are cloaked. They are nocturnal beings, which means that you can't see them, but they can see you. Okay, it doesn't mean that they are only in the dark, but they are closely identified with darkness. Okay. Shoot, I'm even starting to practice after the sun go down, take my butt in the house and close my door because this is going to be like I'm picking up on an unexpected event here. So some of you are going to be having people from your past trying to make a return in your life. Okay. Also, right along with those of you who are meeting new people, some of you, your exes or people that you've had like a severe falling out with, like it was a terrible ending, and this person hasn't let go, like at some point they're going to make an attempt to try to come back into your life, or the likeness of them, the likeness, like things happening in your life that reminds you, like you could feel their presence very strongly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody could be a Scorpio here. Okay, I'm getting strong Pisces as well as Sagittarius. All right, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I got Leo here because Leo is talking about taking control over your life and exercising sovereign power. So it's not about what you see no more. It's not about that. Okay? What you see on the surface is all an illusion. See, we're finna be put to the test. Like, 'cause some of us say, yeah, we believe in our ancestors, we love our ancestors. Ancestors say, show and prove. So we being put to the test to stand up and show and prove that it's true, that we do honor our ancestors because they can look upon us and tell based upon how we're living our life whether or not if we are honoring them. So for those of us who are saying we're honoring them and we're living our life in direct opposition to them, they can see you. Until next time, peace.